want to for the pointer. Kalau you nak one pointer later on.
A very good morning to the honorable judges and the fellow and my fellow classmates. We are the group 8 presenters. And now let me introduce myself and my group members. I'm Chua, and he is Syahiran, and he is Loqman, and he is Asyraf. The title of our application is called Quake app. It is an earthquake detector mobile app, which is targeted for the people who live in earthquake areas. And this is the picture of the earthquake happened in Italy. As you all know, like earthquake, it is a natural disaster which causes a lot of destructions to the building and cause loss of lives and injuries to humans and the infrastructure. So it is good if there is a way to avoid, like to save ourselves in case of this earthquake happens. And also it will cause other disasters like tsunami. This is the tsunami that happens in American summer in 2009. And there's an earthquake in Nepal that caused the death of 9,000 people. So our app, it will provide a solution to like save the people. Next, I will let Asyraf describe the needs.
Okay. So the needs of our app is to help people who live in the earthquake areas, which will cause a lot of life loss. So we provide them an information so they can keep track to what will happen next for the earthquake. So next is an approach for our solution. Our application is also provide reliable and the latest earthquake information that we get from the National Information Earthquake Center to the user and give the user a notification alert so they will know when the earthquake will happen. So I will pass to my members, Loqman, to proceed with this.
Okay, so for benefits, this application is deployed in mobile environment, making it convenient to use. So our application is on a mobile, and this advantage for us to it's mobile. You can take anywhere and can access anywhere. It also synchronized with the hospitality server, making the emergency response team efficient and sharing of reliable earthquake information possible. Okay, for the community analysis, there are only a few existing applications used to detect earthquake signs. So we analyze, and there's a 3 application which is similar to our application, which is the first one is TriNet sheet maps, and we realize that the application has a flaw or some disadvantage. So the disadvantage is the application has low resolution map and is quite expensive. And the next one is Did You Feel It application by US Geological Server. The application just gives a post-earthquake questionnaire to user to fill the questionnaire. And next, Quake Capture Network. The application mainly the data sent to central server. So the application has only one server, which is our server has multi-server. Next, I will pass to Asyraf.
Okay, so how our system will work? Basically, we gather information from the National Earthquake Center. When the National Earthquake Center have update their database, so our system will notify the user if they are only in the earthquake-prone area. So next, where the user will receive the notification we will give them a provide safe place where they can go to that place to avoid the earthquake. So if they may not be safe at the safe place on time, or they stuck on the earthquake area and something have happened to him, so they can call by clicking the button emergency, so the ambulance will come to the location that patient sent. So we also have a GPS tracking for the ambulance to go to the user. So the ASR of our system, we have performance for the quality attribute, which we have a response time. The system will able to process in less than 5 seconds, and no request should take more than 10 seconds. It should be more faster than any other competitive apps. So for the next security, we have authentication. We need user to log in our system and password before they enter. They could be entered into the system. So for another security attribute requirement is confidentiality, which each function differ for different user, as the user privilege depends on the user. And we have integrity for our emergency call that user can request, where the only user in the earthquake prone area can request that emergency call. So there will be no false emergency request. So the next quality attribute is we have availability, which no downtime on the system update. And it also can be accessed by 24/7. So the reliability, we have a service continuity. The system also has offline capability, which when the earthquake happens, it might not be internet connection when the disaster is happened. This is our architecture design. We have end user tier. We have 4 tier, which is user tier, web tier, application tier, and database tier. Actually, end user tier, we have 3 interfaces that we use for the end user itself, and the NEIC with National Earthquake Information Center interface and hospital interface to get the information. So we save it into the web tier with web server, and in the application tier we have application server and the repository as the database. So let's pass to Syahiran. Continue.
Okay, basically this is our use case diagram for the system. So as you can see, there are multiple purpose of the system. So first, the user can, all of the user, there are 3 kind of user for the system. There will be the regular user, the National Earthquake Center agents, and the hospital staff. So they will all log into the Quake alert system, and the user can view the earthquake info from the news dashboard. It means that all the information regarding the recent earthquake statistic or recent history of earthquakes, they can view it on the news dashboard. Then the National Earthquake Center have the responsibility to upload the earthquake info, so they will keep the user updated with the news. And then the user can view the alert alarm, but they can only access the alert alarm once they are in the earthquake prone areas. It means that it depends on the information provided by the National Earthquake Center. It means that if the recent place, let's say it happens in UPM, then only the user that in the UPM location can send the alert alarm. Then the user also have the capabilities to request ambulance help. This is synchronized with the hospital staff functionality. So when they are requesting the ambulance help, the alert is sent to the hospital staff, and the data will be stored in the hospital server. So the hospital staff will notify the alert coming from the user. They can view the notification and send the ERT, the emergency response team, to the user based on the location sent by the user. And then there will be the offline messaging capabilities.
depends when the internet is cut down, when the disaster happens. And then this is the conceptual diagram. This is the class diagram showing the interactivity between all the classes in our system. As you can see, there are 3 kind of users, as I said. There will be the NAIC agent, the regular user, and the hospital staff. And as you can see, all users must have profile because they have to register as a user before they can access the application itself. Then the regular user can access the dashboard to know the recent news or any updates for the earthquakes, and the NAIC agent will be the one responsible to update the news. Then there will be sensor. The sensor is embedded in the phone itself. So this application will help if the sensor unable to work during this disaster. Then emergency response for the hospital staff to send emergency response team. Then there will be offline feature. Next. So this is the component diagram. These are the components embedded in our application. There will be the emergency request, the module. Then there will be interface for the user to access each of the module. So as you can see, there are many interfaces. There will be the profile interface, there will be emergency request interface, just like I said for the diagram. And there will be also the safety guidelines. It will provide to the user once the disaster happens. So it means for the post-earthquake. So this is the component diagram. And this is basically the activity diagram for the users. So for the regular users, as you can see, user can register, they can log into the system, and once they log in, they can read the news. Then if the earthquake happens, they have the option to request for help, and they can read the safety guidelines. And then this is for the NS agents. So once they log in, because they have their own organization, so they just update they just provide the quick info, the recent one, from their website, from their server. So agents depend, they have their own server, but then they are included in this application just to provide info. And this is the hospital staff. So as you can see, the hospital staff, they can view list of user, request for help, select user from the list. So hospital staff only have the capabilities for the emergency response. So this is the deployment diagram. As you can see, I said before, we have 3 servers, and it is accessed by the mobile device.
Now I will do the demo of that. This is what the users will see after they have logged into the system. They will see that the app will detect their location and tell them that there is no earthquake in that area, and maybe they can search like other area. And this is the latest earthquake info, and this information comes from the information center, so that the information center, they have the database, and they will share all this information to the system. In case of emergency, the center will provide an alert to all the users, especially at the area of the earthquake, so that the users can react and they can request help, or they can look at the safety guidelines. And if they press the request help button, they can ask for the ambulance, which will be sent to the request will be sent to the hospital staff, the database. So they will get the request, and then they will send the help, dispatch the ambulance to the area where the earthquake is affected. And they will have to log in the account and then use the username and password for authentication. And this is the prototype. Now I will show you a video of the persona.
sound problem.
So we'll open to Q&A.
How does your offline messaging work? Because it's offline, so how do you communicate with the other server and everything?
Basically, I have do some research from other countries. They use to have an offline capability by calling an emergency only. So our system actually we use offline capability to call an emergency only for the earthquake prone area, which they can get some help if something happened to them. For the nuclear AGI research is GIS, so they have in the disaster area they still have low connection of internet. They still have a connection, so they can make an emergency call only.
Like offline means that you're cut off from everything.
Yeah.
I mean, say network, everything, because it's an earthquake, right? So you'll be cut off from the internet, from your phone lines and everything. So how does your offline messaging work again? Still don't get the picture.
Maybe it has a sensor, it's in it, and it uses the phone vibration, so that if the user is not aware of the earthquake, then they will alert them, and then they can read like the safety guidelines and what they can do during the emergency.
But when we say offline messaging, messaging means you want to communicate with someone. You want to. So, using that, how do you communicate with others? Using a
That's like
sensor.
the research that we once searched the web, and that's like a service like for offline. They can like text people near them, just near them.
But it's not mentioned in your architecture design, right?
No, not yet.
Can you back to your ASR money?
So this topic, who choose this title?
The title.
Yeah.
The title, we all think together.
Why you select earthquake?
Because it's like for earthquake, and then quake is like the quake, the vibrations.
Like you are living in Malaysia, right? I think flood is more critical rather than earthquake.
Yeah, but once like Sabah also has earthquake.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I do some research and I have seen that Malaysia there's one case, and who knows like the future.
Yeah.
So
You're saying that you get information from the National Earthquake Center, right? Which is centralized. How the National Earthquake Center push the message to the client, to the phone?
So the
What kind of protocol does it use?
basically use the standard protocol, right? The TCP/IP protocol, so that when they got the news updated to their database, then they themselves, the NAIC agents, have they already have a profile in our application. So we will connect these three servers together. So they will just gain it from the cloud, the information they will gain from the cloud, then just push it to the dashboard.
Dashboard of the phone.
Yeah, dashboard of the news in the application.
How do you guarantee successful message delivery from the National Earthquake Center to the phone?
So how to guarantee the successful of the message delivery? So basically, so for the connectivity depends on the internet connection, but then to ensure that the message is delivered successfully, we really depends on the server availability. So it means that because we have multiple server, then it will be faster for it to process the data in separate server.
What do you mean by multiple?
Multiple server means
Is it multi-location or?
not application. I mean we have multi-server in the application is connected to a multi-server. So the data is processed depends on the functionality. For emergency, it will depends on the hospital server, and for the news dashboard, it will depends on the user server, and it depends for the NIC agents to get the news. They will get it from their own server. So it means that the message can be successfully delivered if the data processing is ensured to be fast in every server.
And it's like sometimes the information center, they have like earlier news, like maybe a week before that they detect something unusual and then they will notify them to make preparations.
So it makes predictive analysis, is it? Okay, one more thing. I mean, why is notification is part of the interview? I mean, is it really necessary for a quick detection application to have authentication? Meaning that, for example, you're having a quick, so but I have to log in first before I can actually see all the data. Is it really necessary, do you think?
So if the application managed to be commercialized, then we would like want all users to have this application. Then the authentication is really important, so that for the
State agencies, they need information about the user that use before they can give some help if the earthquake happen. So the hospital agency needs information.
So the notification will be a one-time notification, or will be each time you open the system, you have to log in?
One time only.
You talk about users, then users cannot make false emergency requests. So this user is referring to which type of users?
The regular user, the
Public
specific
users.
The regular user who is using our application.
False emergency request. Okay. This false emergency request is request from the public to
To the hospital.
Just that
hospital.
Yeah. Means that the NEIC is a reliable organization providing the earthquake information. That means that if they are sending the early earthquake sign, let's say in Serdang, then the people in Putrajaya can send the emergency quake. It will be available, the feature will be available because the area is not earthquake prone.
How do you detect the user is cannot send an emergency request? Somebody from Putrajaya can come to the bank at that point in time. How do you determine the person cannot make a false emergency request?
Because we have the GPS trackers. It means that the location, if the user send it from a different location than the one that provided from the NEIC agent, that means that they are sending the false emergency request. That the feature won't be available for them. Depends on the location of the user itself.
We're talking about multiple servers, right? Just now. Can you actually show this inside your architectural design? Perhaps I think in the deployment diagrams. In your deployment diagrams. So like this is okay. Oh yeah, that one is also works. And your deployment diagrams or your other diagrams. Where's about the multiple servers that could handle that?
Where's about them?
That could handle the one that you mentioned. Why do you need the multiple servers just now? You are saying that it's to ensure that your system are able to receive the message successfully, right? Okay, so where about in your deployment diagrams, these diagrams, or the other diagrams, or any of these idea of the diagram that shows that you have multiple servers to handle that?
So as you can see, the deployment diagram will show the physical interaction. So as you can see, the mobile device you have to gain internet connection before you can gain access to all these server. And then the hospital server will only available. So we have said before that it is different. The confidentiality means that the user privilege is different. It means that the hospital server will be available for regular user and the hospital staff itself. So all in the server, there will be a separate VT database. And then for the user server, as you can see, there are 3 users of this application: the NIC agent, regular user, and hospital staff. So this is another server, separate server. So this is for the user server. They can only view it for the dashboard and all the recent news. Lastly, it will be the NIC server, which the NIC agent use it. So they are on database of the NIC. So all the data is stored in different server and with different database.
Yeah, okay. We got that. But from the NEIC from NEIC to your mobile apps, you just now you told that you actually saying that you have multiple servers to handle the success of transactions. So where about in your these diagrams that have those multiple servers that you mentioned just now? Because you have this NEIC and then you have your mobile apps or mobile device there.
So this part, you can see that for when you are using the smartphone application, then all the interface for the 3 of the user will be different.
So mine, for example, I've been using mobile phones, so I'm referring to that not mobile device, right? So you are talking to and I'm receiving message from NIC. So just now you mentioned about you have multiple server. It's not about, I don't think it's about hospital server. Hospital server is another entity, right? This is from the NIC to your mobile apps. So you're saying that you have multiple server. Where about here you have multiple server?
It means that the server have multiple server.
You are saying that
Yeah.
your answer just now is you have multiple server. I I'm not suggesting you have multiple server. You are the one that answer you have multiple server. So I want to know where is the multiple server. I'm not interested in the hospital. That is the hospital entity. I'm not interested on the user because it's users. I'm interested to know from the NEIC through my mobile apps. When you say that you handle this through multiple server. So where about you have multiple server? Because this is a design solution, right? Right. Finish. Oh, ke? Senyap je. Dan kita ni, kita driving.
Backup.
Okay. I think there's a lot of your requirements, okay, which has not been solved in your design here, especially ASR, because that is important for you.